She is complaining about her husband. She said he smokes, he drinks, he watches porn, but he also prays and he reads Quran daily. He fasts Mondays and Thursdays, and he feeds the poor. Up to that, sisters, my dear sister, it is hard to imagine this combination. It is really hard to imagine this combination. In Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah the Almighty says, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ. When the person prays, his prayer will hinder him, will stop him from evil, from illicit relations, and from committing sins, the major sins at least. But what you're saying, a person who is alcoholic, a person who is a sex addict, and meanwhile he is charitable, he fasts regularly, voluntary fasting, and he prays and he reads daily Quran. To be honest with you, I cannot accept this combination, and I cannot imagine it either. It's a very weird combination, but I would just follow up with your question, inshallah. She said, I have been seriously praying for him, which is good. In addition, I have left his room for almost 10 years now, and I stopped following him for the congregation because we pray jama'ah together and so on. When a wife happens to find that her husband is, sometimes she calls it he's cheating on me because he's watching porn, or he's involved in an outside marriage relationship, and she thinks that I'm gonna punish him by not sharing bed with him, not sharing the room with him. She's exactly doing the opposite of what she's supposed to do. She's now assisting Satan against him. When the person indulges into this terrible practice, it is because maybe I'm not defending him. I'm not defending this evil attitude or evil practice at all. But what I'm saying is, normally the person gets married in order to guard his and her chastity. When the person is not finding that, he may slip away, and she may slip away. I have some questions, some wives whose husband has been away for years and she's complaining. That is normal, because you're a human being and she's a human being too. You have needs and sexual needs, and the wife has sexual needs too. So those needs must be satisfied and fulfilled in halal, or else. The Prophet ﷺ addressed the youth who cannot afford to get married, and they are at marriageable age. They have the urge to get married, but they cannot afford. He said, then resort to fasting, for fasting will help you to lower your gaze. Now we are saying that he's fasting not only Ramadan, but he's fasting Mondays and Thursdays. I read it right. And meanwhile he's doing this. As I said, it's hard to imagine, but if this is the case, then you're supposed to, number one, besides making dua for him, as you mentioned, reconcile with him. Ask him to do counseling, to go through counseling, because I definitely believe that he is desperately in need for counseling, either with a qualified sheikh or a local imam or a counselor. Get treated, because there is something called porn addiction. So there is a scheme to follow in order to be able to get rid of that. Similarly with drinking and the evil practices that you mentioned. But to say that I'm not sharing bed with him, then you would rather ask for khula and separation.